Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is me, the Alpha Empath, and I am here to free your mind today. So, today we're going to be talking about the path of the serpent. Okay, so let me turn on these comments. If you are watching me live, I need you to go ahead and say good morning to me. I absolutely love to know who is watching me, who is gaining knowledge from the content that I put on here every morning at 8:30. And if you are not watching me live, I need you to go ahead and hit hashtag replay. And last but not least, if you like the content that I'm sharing, share me. Okay, so let's talk about the path of the serpent. When I was younger, when I was younger, my father used to always tell me that I reminded him of a snake. Now, that was a huge insult to me back then. It was a huge insult to me back then because, first of all, I was terrified of snakes. I had never seen one, I had never touched one, but I was absolutely terrified of snakes. I kid you not. I couldn't even see a snake on a television screen without me screaming. I would get like my flesh would crawl. If it came on my computer, I would get antsy. I would get anxious. But I got tired of my father calling me, "You such a snake, Tiffany, you such a snake." I got tired of that shit. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to let that fear get the better of me. So this was way back in 2006. I remember going to my television, not my television, but my computer screen, and I would put a snake on the screen and then I would cover it with a piece of paper. And little by little, I would inch it up to see the snake. And I couldn't really do it. It took me years to be able to look at a snake just on a screen. But let me tell you why I did this. Instead of these people throwing these stones at you, why don't you just embrace it? Instead of fighting against it, why don't you just embrace it and say, hey, let me see if there's any truth to this. So that is what I did. I started studying snakes. I would say, hey, I would go to Half Price Bookstore, buy a book. Hey, cashier, could you put a paper over all the pictures of the snake? I just want to read the content. And then I would read the content. And as I read the content, I recognized that my father was absolutely right. Me and a snake have a lot in common. Let me tell you some of the things about a snake. Now, the reason why the snake is so important is because if you study indigenous cultures, if you study ancient philosophies, the snake it always represents wisdom. It always represents magic. It always represents, if you study the oracles of Delphi, they were in the temple of Pythia, if I'm not mistaken, which was reportedly built upon a snake's body, or the son of Gaia. And the son of Gaia was known as Python. Okay. If you look at the Garden of Eden, they say that a snake was in the tree or some shit like that. But a snake, and in the Bible, it says that the snake was the most clever out of all the beasts on the planet. The snake was the most wise. So when Eve says, okay, I'm going to listen to this snake, a lot of people say that that was a sin. That was the first sin. I'm going to say something a little bit different. I'm going to say that that was the first choice. That was the first choice. In order for a woman or for anybody to have wisdom, you have to pay the cost for wisdom. You have to go through the evolutionary process of wisdom, okay? And let me tell you how a snake sees. A snake does not see with its two eyes. A snake puts its body on the ground, and the vibrations from the earth is what creates its vision. I see like that as well. In fact, most empaths see like that as well. We don't look at what's coming from our two eyes because we know that that can be fake. We understand that that can be an illusion. But when you are sensing the vibrations and the frequencies that are emitting from a person and you allow that to form your vision, you see the truth. That is how I see. Another thing about a snake will constantly evolve, shed its skin, recreate itself, and evolve again. It will do that to the day that it dies. A lot of people stop fucking growing. A lot of people lose their spirituality because they become stagnated, but a snake never does that. So when I look at my life and I see myself evolve, change, shed my skin, evolve again, recreate, change, shed my skin, evolve again. When I see that, I understand that that is the wisdom of my nature that comes from that serpent. I consider a snake my spirit animal. one of them. I considered my spirit animal. The scripture says that what is the most powerful member in our being? It is our tongue. So because I began to embrace that I had a lot of patterns or a lot of energies like the snake, what is the most powerful thing on a snake? It is its mouth. It is its mouth. So I said, okay, well, let me learn how to use my mouth. I heard somewhere that the most dangerous snake is actually a baby snake, a snake that has not learned how to use its venom. Every time it gets scared, it emits too much venom. Even if it's trying to paralyze something. You see, a snake can heal or it can kill. And a woman's mouth can do the same thing. It can either uplift the person that she loves or it can fucking kill the person that she loves. And as I was a baby snake, because I didn't really understand the power of my mouth, I was stupid with it. The first person that I destroyed was myself with my loose tongue, with saying shit and creating a reality that didn't need to be created, a reality that would be a prison for me. But as I began to grow and change, I began to have some wisdom with my mouth. Now the words that come out of my mouth are wisdom and they are life. Just like the venom that comes out of a snake can be used for healing. If you look at our medicinal symbol, it actually is two snakes around a pole, if I'm not mistaken, and the pole is in the middle. If you read the story of Moses in the Bible and the people of Israel, the way that the people of Israel were healed is because Moses wrapped a snake around a staff. So this represents healing. And it's the same thing that you see in the Garden of Eden. You see a snake wrapped around a damn tree. I hope that you are getting this. I hope that you are seeing the correlation between these things. In the very beginning of the Garden of Eden, you see the tree and then you see the snake wrapped around it. And that is our sign of health. I had to think about that for a little bit. Okay, so if I am going to be a snake, how do I want to use my tongue? And most times my tongue is used from healing, but sometimes my tongue is used to destroy. I destroy some things that I know I don't like seeing in reality. I come out against them. Now, in the Garden of Eden, it says that the snake was cursed to crawl around on its belly. And one of the things that I was fascinated with as a little girl was dragons. Completely fascinated with dragons. In fact, I have a dragon on my mantle. A dragon is nothing more than a snake with some damn wings. That's all it is. But it's a snake that knows how to fly. In Greek mythology, they say that a dragon comes from, it is actually the love child of an eagle and a snake. And when an eagle comes together and a snake comes together, they get a dragon, something that is bigger than both of them. When I learned how to use my mouth for good and how to destroy those things which I felt were not the highest vibration in my eyesight, I became a dragon. I learned how to be wise. You should learn how to be wise as well. What are you saying about yourself? What blessings are you speaking over your children? What blessings are you speaking over those that you love? What curses are you speaking? And if you don't know how to use your tongue in wisdom, shut the fuck up. Literally, shut the fuck up. If you are a woman, I kid you not, I sometimes hate going on Facebook. Well, I used to hate going on Facebook because I would look through my timeline and it would be stupid ass, silly ass women saying stupid ass shit out of their mouth about how horrible their life is. And I understand that you are going through something. I totally get it. But do not speak that shit into existence. Reframe that shit. Reframe it and speak it, and then speak your blessing at the end. Why just speak out the poison and not the health? Have some harmony in that. Have some balance in that. I had to unfriend and block several people that I love because their mouth is stupid. I had to do it. And I don't want to get infected with that disease. Let me tell you something. Foolishness is a fucking disease. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the worst disease to have. I'm not going to have it. I want to be a woman that is found in wisdom. When a man comes to me, I want him to be able to understand that he can seek healing from me. He can seek wisdom from me. He got to step to me correctly, but he can get that. He can get that. Here's another thing that I want to go ahead and say, because I've only been on here 9 minutes. Now, I'm going to save this one for tomorrow. Okay. But before I leave, Let me give you guys some wisdom. This right here is one of my favorite books, The Prophet Khalil Gibran. And I just wanted to read from him today on marriage. Just wanted to read a little bit on marriage. Let me see where it's at. Let me find it, you guys. Here it is. Here it says, "And they said, what of marriage, master? And he answered, saying, you were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days, and you shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your soul. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one another's cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone. Even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping. For only the hand of life can contain your heart. And stand together, yet not too near together. For the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow." The reason why I wanted to read that to you guys today is because it's wisdom. When I think about marriage, when I think about how many people come to me for couples counseling, the first thing that I see that's going wrong in their relationship is that wisdom is not in it. They are too much on top of each other. Be alone. Know how to separate yourself. Love shouldn't be suffocating. Love should not be a prison. Love should be freedom. But you are not going to have freedom if you don't have wisdom. People that don't have wisdom need to control. If you get wisdom, you can allow a person to be free to love you, and you can allow yourself to stand apart from them to love them as well. When a woman has wisdom, she will not suffocate you in marriage. She will not, because she will need her own space to grow her own divine knowledge and her own divine wisdom. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I love you. I'm about to get to work, and I will see you again tomorrow at 8:30. Bye-bye.